Good afternoon, everyone. This is Darkpool Algo, and today is Tuesday. That was Wednesday all day, but it's Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. Earnings season is in effect. I don't know if anybody saw that. Google earnings, $140 move. Bananas. Microsoft fell off Earth. Pins broke its iron condor. Very, very fun times here. This is the afternoon session. I use this time to build my watch list for tomorrow. I go through, I look for stocks that have a very specific pattern at the end of the day, throw them on the list, run them through the divergent scanner, run them through the flow trade, Darkpool, block trade, smart money algorithm, look for the divergence that I'm trying to identify and put them on the list. If you have any suggestions, comments, tickers that you'd like me to do, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, turn on comments, and then hit me up in the comments with any tickers. I also stream every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Eastern to 6 or till 9:15-ish. Seems they've been going a little bit longer lately. We've got a lot of audience participation, which is great. I like to see that. Eventually, we'll get to where we stream from 9 to 10:30. Do an hour in the morning. Do some live trading. But that's about it. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. All right, welcome back, everyone. All right, so I've got my little scanner squeeze over here. I'm always on the lookout for new scanners. If you've got any, hit me up. I like vetting them. It's kind of a cool little process. So these are sorted by volume. I've got some customized columns here that I always know that this is volume. I like to look for sectors that are solid green first, or for the most part green. And we're going to start with those. The other thing I'm looking for on my charts that are in front of me, I've got some paid for tools on this one. This just really helps me to try to identify things. I'm using the Squeeze Pro, I'm using the Ready Aim Fire Pro, and I'm also using the Divergent Bar, something like that, from our friends over at Simpler Trading. If you're interested, let me know. I can get you in touch. I think we've got a discount or something like that. I'm just going to actually go from the top down based on volume. Alright, so what I'm seeing here is... thought I had this taken care of. I forgot to save it last time, that's the problem. Need you guys to be able to see what's going on. There we go. Much better. Alright, this is JBL. It has not created the bar that I'm looking for. I'm on the daily chart. So I'm just going to fire down through these. When I see one, I will stop and we'll note it and potentially add it to the list. I'm looking for that light green bar. I'm looking for this green bar here, but it hasn't already fired. Carvana. Wow. I might have to pull up a different scan. Looks like all of these a little late to the game on these ones. I don't ever trade these Liberty ones. They're so just violently chaotic. Alright, yeah, this scan looks like it's going to suck. Let me just grab another scan real quick. Oh, wait, what was that? GD, General Dynamics. Hey, we got an option here. Let's look at this guy. GD. This is my 4-chart layout from FlowTrade. The FlowTrade screen on the left, this column, is the divergent scanner. I'm going to use that. Whoa, what's going on here? Where'd my screen go? Thank you. There we go. I was like, wait, where'd the algo line go? All right, GD looks good. We've got intraday bullish divergence. Price actions trading with the algo. The algo is currently up. Don't really see any block trade levels to speak of. I'm gonna bring my watch list over. Get rid of all these ones I had on there before. Yeah, this is a process. Trying to find great content. All right, what's that? General Dynamics, GD. All right. DLTR. CME. All right, I'm gonna grab a different scan. Doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to find what I want. This scan looks for a particular bar pattern within, there may not even be any. What do we got going on here? Show something. Thank you. Short list today. All right, WBS has made that pattern. Coming off of earnings last week. This green bar is the bullish divergent bar. Usually means that there's going to be a strong move to the upside in the next day or so. Looks like we came up. Let me just grab WBS. Here in WBS. Got my charts backwards here for some reason. One's on the left, 15's is on the right. All right, price actions trading. This could be a pretty good thing. I'm gonna WBS. That's a possibility. Oh, it's gonna run without me. I was looking at getting into Juniper and some commons trades based on their ER. Took a break for a minute, walked away, and it just took off without me. Hate it when that happens, but you know, W-Day, Workday, I like this company. Not what I'm looking for today. HFC. Earnings. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but there's been a rotation out of tech into, I'm trying to find it. I don't know if it's building, possibly. HFC. We could do this one. Yeah, this one looks good. HFC. ASB. Yes, ASB is what we're looking for. They just had earnings. And so we don't have to worry about that being in the way. Hopefully we got some divergence that we can play off of. Oh, not ADB, ASB. Oh yeah, that's a good one. SPR, is that SunPower? Ooh, Spirit Airlines. We did, nope, we're gonna pass that. Win. Everybody loves Win. I like Win as well. I believe I saw some divergence coming up on Win. Ooh. WDC, Western Digital, I've been playing that for days. TFC, Trust Financial. Not a lot of movement there. COG, I don't know what COG is, but they've got earnings tomorrow. All right, HIG. This could be an interesting one. Looks like we had $10 day, and we've just been basing since there. kind of forming a flag. May have broken out of the flag today. Yeah, we're gonna HIG, Hartford Financial Services. I wonder if this rotation is going to be into financials. Add that block trade, curl down, bearish divergence. Bummer. Bummer. Oh. Earnings tomorrow. Get past Nike. Nike's been on an uptrend lately. However, I don't like this doji. Especially the doji at the reversion to the 21 EMA. It's an indication there's a possible reversal happening. It's been in this downtrend channel for the last couple months. It's just bouncing back and forth, slowly making lower highs and looks like higher lows, kind of forcing it into a wedge. Not really. That's too bad. I like playing Nike. Cop. So this was from a video I did last week. Oh, I wonder if my stop just got hit. This is from a video I did last week using this system. I had indicated, hey, Cop is ready to make a bullish move over the next couple days based on the ready and fire firing, basically. We've got earnings coming up, looking for a run into earnings. So this bullish divergent bar, use this previous doji top as support. It made a nice move up. It reverted to the mean, which is this black 34 EMA. I think I noticed that I keep forgetting to save on these charts is my SMA pattern, so I'll make sure I get those added. I'm gonna put Cop on there. I believe it's still got some room to run before earnings. And FOMC is tomorrow. Oil, I don't know if that was today. Oh, we got more. Qualcomm. When's their earnings? Their earnings are tomorrow. Not touching it. NRZ. Looks as if that was reverted to that 34 EMA. It's at a decision point. How much is this stock? It's a $10 stock. NYCB. I'm going to pass on that one too. Space. I don't know what's been going on with Space lately, but it's just been beaten down like a rabid dog. It's just been horrible. Great company. Alright, Carnival Cruise Lines. I've got a personal vendetta against Carnival Cruise Lines. It took a lot of my money when I first started trading. I'm going to get it back once I'm smarter. No. Carnival. I'm going to pass on Carnival. So, from our list, I'm going to bring this into the larger single chart so that we can go through, do some markup, and let's try this again. Do some markup and talk about what we're looking at. GD, General Dynamics, on the 1 minute. Strong bullish divergence today. You can see it's considered bullish divergence when price action crosses the algo, or the algo crosses over price action. It can be seen here. The algo line is the purple line. So you can see we've got a strong upward momentum. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is this curling down. What I'd typically like to see is for that to kind of swoop back up. And then that's the 1 minute. Let's look at GD on the 15. Not really seeing any major block trade levels to note. Get a little bit bigger picture going on here. Alright, so it looks as if, though, again, we're just confirming that price action is trading with the algo line. We do have bullish divergence that started today. We'd like this algo line to continue upwards. And for price action to, of course, maintain this uptrend support base. 185.89-ish. Alright, GD. General Dynamics. Alright. We've been in a strong uptrend since February. We have not broken below the 34 EMA during that time. We have been pretty much riding the 8 EMA. We haven't broken below the 21 EMA. My white line is at 21, and it's here. We have got an 8. We don't know what our ATR is. Okay. GD. If I was to throw a fib on, I would have to throw it on. I'd have to go from here to here. And we've pretty much broken all of that. So I can do an extension from this low to the previous high, back down to the low. GD's got earnings tomorrow. Awesome. Based on their earnings, with the algo buying, yeah. Sorry to. That's frustrating. I wish I would have seen that earlier. So, just kind of in a holding pattern because of earnings. I'm not one to mess with earnings. We've just been basing. You could probably run an iron condor. Well, anyway, I'm going to move on to the next one. WBS. Just make sure that doesn't have earnings that I have to worry about. WBS. Okay, no earnings. Yeah. Next dividend day on the 4th. Just got through with earnings. All right, WBS. We have got technically it's bearish divergence because price action the algo has been selling. However, it looks as though they're done selling and they've decided that they want to start buying this again because it's curled up. Right, anytime we get this kind of deal here. Right, the algo's starting to curl up. They sold off the last couple days. Price action looks like it's nice in a channel. There's no real Darkpool block trades to speak of. On the intraday, yeah. So intraday, price action is trading with the algo. The algo has started buying yesterday, or right around 2 o'clock today. It started buying. That's that curling up we see. It's a strong indication that there may be a potential move upwards. From a technical standpoint, looking at Webster Financial. Fibonacci, previous low to previous high. That 127 extension is the low of the high before it had earnings. That comes in right at 56.66. That's definitely going to be a target it's going to go after, followed by 58 and then eventually 64. I'm going to throw a couple more fibs on here just to see if I can get any additional symmetry. Any additional symmetry. There we go. Yeah, they 1.6, 6.8. the 50 and the 127. Those are going to be some pretty significant levels for this stock. We've got support at the 8 EMA. Hold on, I'm going to throw on some additional stuff here. I'm right back. Alright, I'm back. I had to add a couple studies to my chart just so that everybody could see what was going on here. I don't know how I feel about that blue color. It's really not showing as well as I would like it to, so we're just going to go with that guy. Alright. Much better now. I threw on the 50-day SMA and the 200-day SMA. So, and what I suspected is going to happen. So we are in an upward direction. We went up, we tested, we reverted to the mean, which is the 21 EMA. We found resistance there. We came back down and found support at the 8 EMA. Another downward risk for this would be 57 cents approximately to find support at the 618 retracement. We've got immediate resistance coming up right at 55, which is a 34 EMA. However, we are in a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day squeeze. Our histogram is neutral and increasing, or it's neutral. What I'd like to see happen is with this histogram, from when this high compression squeeze fired on earnings, I'd like to see this area here continue to curve upwards so that when this next squeeze fires off, it propels us to a positive histogram and continued movement upward. We've got the 50-period SMA that we're going to run into approximately at the same time as we hit the 127 extension, or retrace 127 extension, and the 50-period retracement. So that's at the 56.75 level as we continue upwards. So that would also fill that gap. So WBS, we've got support at 53, and that's 61.8 retrace. We've got minor resistance at 55, which is the 34 EMA, followed by major resistance at 57.75, or excuse me, 56.75. Right, there's this at 56.75, which is the 50 SMA, the 127 extension, and the 50% retracement. See how that symmetry comes into play? We're going to run up there and smack into that and have to probably revert back to the 34 or use the 50 for support for a day or so before we move up to the next resistance area, which is going to be the 1618 and the 61.8, which is a 58.50. Right. Look for basing for next move to 58.50. And that's 1.618 and 6.618 fib level. Ultimately, we'd like to move back up to the previous high of 63.95. I'm just going to target 64. So, target 64. Alrighty. Yeah, that's what I see for that. I'm going to just whip over here real quick to the 78-minute chart, just to confirm kind of what I saw. We came up. Fix this time axis. Make sure I save it this time. Kind of confirmed what we already knew. Came up, ran into that resistance, right? It's got this inside bar that, like, just major bar that we can't get through. Anyway, so we came up, we smacked into that resistance. We've been bull flagging. Our EMAs are stacked positive on the 78-minute chart. Histograms positive and increasing. You know, we're got to get past that 34 daily EMA for the next move up. It's going to be pretty spot on. We're in a 2-hour squeeze, or 2-hour squeeze just fired. So we've got probably a couple days more of the squeeze to help propel us up to that next level. All right, next one I was going to look at was HFC. Strong selling at the end of the day. Looks like a lot of profit taken took place. Make sure they didn't have earnings. They have earnings coming up on the 6th, so we're going to drop a line there saying, hey, here's a target line. Looks like profit taking with the algo on the 1 minute, as can be seen here. This area here, the algo started taking profit, selling pretty significantly. The 15-minute chart is letting us know that we've still got strong bullish divergence, as can be seen here, where the algo's been net buying recently. This little curl over you see here was that profit taking from earlier. We've got, it's like uptrend support. So this is an upward wedge that we're forming, or is that what it is? Wedge? Yeah, upward wedge that we're forming. I don't really see any block trade or Darkpool levels. We've got one block trade at 36, but there's something in here that's providing resistance, or else we would have just ran right on up, because it looks like we've hit it a couple times now. So that's going to be interesting. What is that level? 3475-ish. Break of that, and I can see a definite move up to meet with the algo. HFC. Try to find that resistance level. 3475. Looking left. It must be this one here. Yeah, there's something right at this 3475 level that's caused us to run into some issues before. So I'm just going to drop a price line there. 3486 is what I've got. Alright, aside from that, we had that green bullish divergent bar that we've made a bullish move 2 days afterwards. The ready aim fire is signaling that it's basically RSI is about to turn positive and increasing again. Our histogram is neutral and increasing. We'd like to see a squeeze fire, the daily squeeze potentially fire, and slingshot that histogram to positive and increasing. We're going to run into resistance at the 21 EMA, which is at 35, and the 34 EMA, which is at 35.25. So those will just compress together to form one resistance line. Fibonacci, go from this guy here, from this high to that low. So the 50% retracement is right at that 35.55 level. That as things curl will become resistance. I would anticipate the 36.25 level is going to be also going to be a resistance level. I don't really have any Symmetry on that. And we'll go from this big guy over here. And nothing really. What I'd like to see happen is, let me grab this. All right. This kind of cleans it up a little bit, lets us see what's going on. So we do have that resistance right at 34.75, 80-ish level. HFC. First of all, let's get our support. We've currently got our stack positive EMAs on the 78-minute chart. We do have a support level at 34. So support at 34. We've got immediate resistance at 34.77 or 86, 34.86. Right, we break that for a run. Break that for a run to 35.22, then 35.70-ish area. Our target is obviously going to be the $40 price target, the previous high of 38.23. Target of 38. Take profit on the way. Options chain. For their earnings on, was it the 6th? Earnings on the 5th. So running out to next week's options, the $40, $38 level, those are super cheap. Don't believe it's got enough juice in it, enough ATR to be able to get to that $40 level. For their $42 level. Let's just look at the immediate $36 level for a target. Not a lot of open interest on those. You may need to run out further in time, but that would mean you'd have to hold through earnings. The 3650s, May 21st, have definitely got a lot more open interest. If you're looking for something to play immediately, yeah, the 3650s again. Those are cheap. All right, moving on. There's HFC, ASB. Price actions trading with the algorithm. What did I say? ASB? Is that what it was? ASB. Unheard of stocks. These are all from the Russell 2000. All right. Nice move. Okay. This is going to be a pretty good one for us to look at for a couple of reasons. One, we've got a daily, 2-day, 3-day squeeze. Our histogram on the squeeze is yellow, which means it's neutral and increasing, as can be seen down here with the Squeeze Pro histogram. Right, we'd like this squeeze once it fires to fire to the long side. That's a very real possibility because our EMAs are stacked positive. 8 on top of the 21 on top of the 34. We're also on top of the 50 period SMA. Our radiant fire is the thrust mid thrust firing. When that releases, we can definitely anticipate another move upward like we had today. All right. Fibonacci is letting us know that high to low. We've got that Fibonacci support at the 50 period or 50% retracement Fibonacci support at 2142. All right, so let me start writing some of this down. ASB, we have support at 21.42, and that's Fib, 50 SMA, 34 EMA. That's the support level. There's also a minor support at 2164, so minor 21.64, and that is the 21 EMA. Okay. 23.45 is 23.50 is going to be our target. Nice round number, which is also slightly below the previous high of 24. Right. 23.95. It didn't quite make it to 24. Right. So what did I say my immediate short-term targets were? 23.50. I like that. So I'm going to stick with that. 23.50. We're going to have resistance at 22.25, which is a 50% retracement, which is also this previous high within the wick. It should be this wick right here. If I were to draw a rectangle, that would be a major resistance level. It's a supply level, which means that we come down, bought a bunch of stuff, went up and supplied all of the buyers with stock. Usually those are levels that are a little bit more difficult to get through. If I'm wrong on that, correct me please. I always get them swapped. I have like supply-demand dyslexia. And then we've got another major level at 22.64. So 22.25 resistance. So that would be my take profit 1. And then 22.64 is the 618 fib level. And really close to the 127 extension. And let me see if I ran a Fibonacci extension from here to here to here. Yeah, we've got symmetry at the 50%, but not so much. Well, not so much anyplace else. So we're going to leave our charts clean with just these ones. Yeah, these are the levels I'm going to target. 22.25, 23.75, nice round number. 23.75, and then our target is obviously 24 or 23.50. Target 23.50, 23.50 resistance at 22.25, 22.75. Support at 21.50, 21.64, and 21.50. ASB does have options. They're only monthly at 22. Open interest, not a lot of volume. They're a month out. They're 40 cents. We know that we've got a strong bullish move getting ready to happen. Our squeezes are going to fire. We're going to get a larger than anticipated move. I'm going to just make sure I note this one here. My risk tolerance. The options at the money options are they're not super liquid, and that there's not a lot of open interest. So I like these 22.50s. The 5, 21, 22.50s. I'm gonna look at those real hard. All right, last one I have is COP. Oh, sorry, ASB. Algo is trading with price. We've got a nice, strong, semi-vertical algo move happening. As can be seen here. A little cup and handle formed. So algo is trading with price in a bullish direction. Right. This previous gap has been filled. Right. Let me bring this down to the 1 minute. See if we've got any other determining news. Right. Strong. The algo is trading with price action again. pretty strong move. It's the upside. So smart money's been buying, right? This little profit taking to immediate net buying. All right, that's ASB. Last one I'm gonna do is COP, ConocoPhillips. I'm not sure when. I feel like there's something with the oil coming up. All right, so we've got price action trading with the algorithm. There looks like some profit taking at the end of today. This is the 1 minute chart. Looks like there may be a little bit of profit taking, as can be seen with this downturn. However, it looks like we based here for a little while. What I'd like to see happen is this algo find some support and curl back upwards for a move up, which would in turn create a divergence with price action, because they would be heading towards each other, and we would look for price action to find some support and make a next move upwards. Alright, that's the 1 minute chart. ConocoPhillips on the 15 minute chart is going to show us probably a completely different story. Yeah, I had all this. This is all marked up from a different session I had done. So I'm going to clear that out, grab a different color, and walk y'all through it. Alright, we have divergence that occurred back on the 20th, 420. Okay, I said the same thing last time. We've got the strong algo buying. This little curling over a little bit of concerning. We'd like that to curl back up. Looks as if though we've got uptrending trendline support that is basically a channel. So we're currently at the top of that channel. We may need to come back down to this area here for support. Come on, right? Or to draw a line across previous clusters, right? I see this and I see, oh, I grabbed the wrong one. I see this consolidation here. That means that there's a level of support there where price action couldn't figure out what it wanted to do. Also, the algo has come up and hit that level a couple times. I don't typically look at regular block trades, but I'll throw some on for the last 7 days. We are coming out of this consolidation block trade area here. Grab a different color so that's a little bit more clear for everyone to see. So price action just basically traded within those two block trade levels for 4 or 5 days, for an entire week. Looks as if though the orders were finally filled. Let me see here. Oh, I don't like this. Let's try this. I don't like that color, sorry. Not bright enough. Looks like the final orders got filled, and there was a gap up the next day, right into the previous level of consolidation, which ran into resistance. From there, we came back down, we found a support, right? We found that channel support that can be seen here, right? In this area here, channel support. My channels aren't perfect, probably aren't the best right now, but right, channel support. Anyway, so yeah, the algo's been buying pretty significantly for the last couple weeks, or since the 20th. Would like this little curling down to turn itself around, turn that frown upside down, turn it around, and bring it back up. So COP on, just make notes of these guys. COP. ConocoPhillips. Alright. I'm going to leave the previous analysis stuff up here and maybe just add to it a little bit. Excuse me. From this green bullish divergence bar, we had a bullish follow through over the next couple of days, which created an additional bullish divergent bar. From this here, let me just remove that. That one. This bullish divergent bar here, it's not going to let me do it, created an additional bullish move. Radiating fire is turned green, so that means that the fire signals fired and it's essentially very similar to RSI, is turning into a fair value and increasing. We had a squeeze that fired on the 21st. Actually, on the 20th, we had a squeeze that fired as well. And then we're currently within that squeeze, so that can anticipate to fire for 8 to 10 days. So bringing it out to about here, right? That would be the end of the daily squeeze, or the 2-day squeeze that fired. Well, let's see. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Daily squeeze builds up, releases. We get about 8 days of that. So that would be here. We've got a 2-day squeeze that's, or a 3-day squeeze that's going to fire. So that's another 15 days. So once those fire, we can anticipate not about here. Let's see, 28th. Let's say right in this, somewhere in this generalized area. All right. This is just high probability setups, right? We've got our 50-period SMA that's above our EMAs. So that's going to be a major resistance level once we get to it. Looks like it's starting to flatten out, which would be indicative of it hitting the $53 level. Nice round whole number. So I'm going to throw a price level on that 53 just to note that we're going to have some resistance there. Fibonacci is also going to let us know that when I go from that high to this low, we're right smacked at the 61.8 retracement, the 21 and 34 EMAs. So this is going to be resistance. I would anticipate us coming back down to the 50 period, or the 50% retracement right at 50.71 for support for the next move upward until we smack into that 50 SMA right at 53. That's a lot of 50s, right? So I'm going to write this down. All right, so we've got support at, did we close above that? 138. All right, so that's resistance. So we've got support at 50.71. Resistance at 51.30 to 30 to 40, right? 10 cents worth of resistance while those moving averages figure themselves out and get untangled and align back up the way they're supposed to. That's also the 6618.8 retracement. Okay, so I'd look for that for a break of that for a potential run to 53 before we hit resistance of the 50 SMA, right? 50 period simple moving average will act as resistance. Once we get through that, it'll act as support. I still like this $56 target, so I still want to target the $56 before earnings. Right, with 50 to 53, which is that support at 50.71, resistance at 51, and 53, right? Target 56. So we're going to target the 56. Right, we're going to take profit at the 53 and at 51.50, 51.50. Right. That's what I like for that. So hopefully everybody sees how this move's going to play out, right? We've came up, right? We came down, we smacked into that support, the level that I drew from a looking left. Let's just walk through this real quick. So, and correct me if my supply and demand zone terminology is wrong, but here's the basic premise, right? We supply, we demand a bunch of stocks to go run out and sell to people. So when we get to this area, it's the supply zone. And if it's reverse, it's reverse. But basically, we've got this nice bullish run. We run into resistance, or we run out of our supply because we've supplied a bunch of people. This is the way I think of it. So we've got a nice wick there. That's the candle that caused the trend to change. So I will use that candle as an important level. I'll grab a cloud, basically I'll grab a rectangle and run that out into the future, and that'll be it'll be a future area that we'll need to pay attention to. So price then came back down. If I were to draw another one, if I were to extend this one out, it would basically be this level here. So if I've got it correctly, so we come in, we demand stocks from our supplier. If we demand stocks, we demand them at a good price. We come up and we sell them. We supply them to people. They buy them. We have to come back down and get more, which is where we load up and we find some support here. And as we come back up, we start selling. So this area has been an area of resistance that has stopped the bullish move upwards twice now. So from there, we reverted to the 21 EMA, which is the main, just kind of like a little resting stop, and we were able to break through. And on that breakthrough, we needed to, we couldn't just continue to run because we didn't have any support. So we came back down and we found support again, using that previous level of resistance as support for the next bullish run up. Okay, so that, in a nutshell, explains this rectangle that I've got running out to the right. Prices come down, and it has found support right at this level, and now it's on its next move upward. Okay. On its move upward, we're reverting to the mean, which is the 34 or the 21 EMA. So we reverted to that. We'll consider that resistance as well, which happened to be the 618 retracement of this previous high. I'm just going to throw a little circle around that. This previous high. So we ran into some resistance there. We need to come back to this 50% retracement, 50% retracement, catch our breath for the next move through those moving averages up to our next level of resistance, which will probably be the psychological $53 level. By the time we get there, the 50-period SMA will approximately be at that level since it's starting to flatten out, right? This is how I view things. When we hit that level, we may either have enough force from these squeezes firing off to get us through it, to where we can use that as our support level, or we may need to come back down and test the newly stacked EMAs, which will be stacked positively at that time, right? So very similar to this, right, where we bust through and the EMAs line up and they provide an area of support for our bullish move upwards. So I anticipate that happening to this little spaghetti squirrel squeeze of exponential moving averages over here. So next move upward to this $56 level. Looking at the options chain for earnings on the 4th. Not going to grab this week. So earnings on the 7th, $54 level. Not a whole lot of open interest. I'm going to go ahead and jump out to the 21st monthlies. At 54, or let's say 56, sorry, at 56. So 55 is what market makers are targeting. So my analysis is off a little bit. They're targeting this area. They're thinking it's not going to get past this candle. They can't factor in the squeeze, so that makes sense. We can factor in the squeeze. I still like the 54s. My personal risk tolerance makes these 5250s appealing, or even possibly these 5150s. Yeah, the 5250 May 21st look pretty good to me. So, all right, I'm gonna be shutting it down here pretty soon. I just want to tell everybody thank you for joining me once again. My name is Darkpool Algo. It's been another aftermarket session. I was able to go through about 4 or 5 different stocks for you. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's go subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we release new videos. And you can hit me up, let me know if there's any tickers you'd like to review. Thanks and have a great day.